Welcome back, everybody, to the Objective Slant. My name, Michael Aaron Lloyd. You already know the drill. Man, to think, we come on here once again, ready to bless your households, your whatever your living arrangements may be. You could be living outside in a cardboard box, and it doesn't really matter because it's great that you're watching the program. It's great that you're keeping me in your thoughts. So let's just jump right into it. If you've been living under a rock these last these last couple months, the past few months have been kind of glancing over this issue, but it's starting to come full circle now. As of right now, there's a lot going on involving abortion and everything like that. Are you pro-life? Are you pro-choice? What is your opinion? And to be completely honest, it's very hard for me personally to talk about it because obviously, for starters, I'm not a woman, so I don't have a uterus. I won't be able to, make a baby on my own or whatever like that, unless I'm a seahorse, which I'm obviously not. But at the same time, it's a hot topic, and it's not going away anytime soon. Really, this is all just a means to an end to try and overturn Roe versus Wade from all the way back in the day. Which basically just allows, abortions up to a certain point, like around 22, 24 weeks, around that range. And basically what our red colored states have been trying to do have basically, just kind of, hey, let's try, get some leeway to overturn these laws with our own abortion laws, that. And, it might upset a bunch of people, but I mean, at the same time, it needs to be done. We need to talk about it. And it really kind of just ignited the conversation even more, because, once again, it's all just a ploy, to try and overturn Roe versus Wade, and it's not working out the way you'd think it work out, because some of these laws have already been struck down. None of these states that I'm about to go over, including our own state, the state of Texas, none of these laws have really been, put into effect. They've been signed at times, or not signed, or not even gone through, or there's even more protections and whatnot, for women, and in some cases, but it's just the way it's going to be for now. I'm sure this will continue because there's a lot of things that I got here in my notes from my research from the past, few days that have. It's really telling, We're just going to talk about some of the key players real quick. More recently, literally, yesterday or 2 days ago, Louisiana signed their heartbeat bill, which is after the 6th week, and all of the Republicans in the House for Louisiana passed, and several Democrats passed it as well. They're kind of, the same kind of people that are these Republicans in Louisiana, and there's no exceptions for rape or incest. And it's after the 6th week, it's the heartbeat bill, as, science and all sorts of theories and whatnot prove or disprove, whatever flavor you may decide to take, like once that 6th week hits, boom, heartbeat. And really it's kind of caused a lot of outrage, been looking around, and people are just kind of, they're kind of angry at it, but it is what it is. For Louisiana, I'm pretty sure this is probably going to get struck down, kind of like Kentucky's, who had a who had a ban in the second trimester as far as abortions go, and that was struck down already, and now there's appeal in progress, ready for that. Nobody really talks about Kentucky at all. They just kind of throw it by the wayside. But they do talk about Missouri, though, which is a ban after the 8th week. And there is also no exceptions to rape or incest. And it's basically just an attempt for Missouri to close their last abortion clinic. They only have one in that state, and it's also a ban based on race or sex or some kind of form of Down syndrome, you know, that could potentially be diagnosed or is already diagnosed in the fetus, you know. That's a very interesting take on it, but, you know, people have already been mad at Missouri about it. Probably one of the bigger ones, maybe the biggest, is Alabama, who's Governor Kay Ivey, who's a woman, of course. She passed the law, she signed it into effect, and it's just a near total ban on abortion. It's a felony that's punishable for up to 10 to 99 years in prison. So if you're a woman, you know, in Alabama, you know, just one day decide, hey, I need an abortion. They'll try. They'll try their hardest to punish you, and there is no exceptions also for rape or incest. Georgia is a pretty interesting case because Disney and NBC and all those big corporate giants, they're just like, no, let's not go down there and film our stuff down in Georgia, because Georgia's kind of become like a little hotbed for everything. Their heartbeat ban is up to 6 to 8 weeks, I'm going to assume. That's basically what I got in my notes here, that it's 6 to 8 weeks, in between that range, you know. Bob Iger, Disney CEO, he said he didn't want to go. He didn't really want to go. He doesn't want to pressure his guys to go on down there and film stuff in Georgia, so I don't blame him, to be completely honest. That really makes people that uncomfortable, you know. Don't go down there and film. Mississippi, it's another good, interesting one. A federal judge has already blocked this type of ban already for after 6 weeks. They tried a 15-week ban last year, but it also failed. And so, you know, it's really telling, you know, and this was tried last year, and nobody seemed to bat an eye to it. But at this time around, you know, 6 weeks, you know, where most women can't even, you know, like see if the baby's there or not. You know, they can't really even tell until after that point anyway. So it's really puzzling as to why, you know, why 15 weeks last year? Why'd you reduce it down to 6 this time around to try and get it, you know, passed and implement this law all over the state, you know? Who knows? Who knows? I don't know Mississippi's governor and everything like that. I don't know their House or their Senate or whatever. But yeah, they're gonna keep on trying with what they're gonna keep on trying. That's basically what it is. Nobody really talks about North Dakota, but back down in April, they banned dilation and evacuation in the second trimester, and this one does not punish women, it punishes doctors. And this, you know, if you're in North Dakota, you're doing an abortion on a woman, and you know, you do a D&E, you could go to jail for 5 years, you know, and pay a $10,000 fine, you know. I mean, up to 5 years anyway. Well, that's really not feasible. Come on now, that's not feasible at all. You know, it just doesn't even sound right. Just for one abortion, maybe even 10. Who knows how many this certain doctor? We're just coming up with a scenario here. Let's say one doctor, he's performed his first abortion. You know, he's got a new job. He's performed his first abortion, and now boom, prison, 5 years, $10,000 fine, all for just one procedure that takes like what, 20 minutes or so, you know. That's really interesting, you know. Going down one more to Ohio real quick. There was this whole big thing with this national story about an 11-year-old girl. I don't know the girl's name or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure they kept it anonymous. Some man, some beast, some disgusting beast decided to rape this young girl, and in that instance it got her pregnant. And in Ohio, their state law, their heartbeat bill is up to 6 weeks. They passed it in April, but it's not in effect yet. Like I said, like all these laws, and there's no exceptions. So, you know, and it's absolutely tragic. It's sickening, you know, to hear a story like that, and then, you know, just the one up, put more icing on the cake with that. And, you know, people are already mad at Ohio, so, you know, it is what it is for them, as far as that goes. And there's some other states as well that have also done some things, you know, that are up to the middle of the second trimester, which is Utah and Arkansas. And nobody really talks about Utah or Arkansas at all, or Indiana really either. They don't really talk about them at all. And I mean, I don't know why, but man, it's just that, you know. You know, nobody really thinks of Utah as anything, you know, other than just being Utah, and Arkansas is just kind of our neighbors, you know, a little bit closer to us than originally thought, you know. Like once you take a drive up to Texarkana, where I used to live, you know, Texarkana, hey, there's a part in Texas, hey, there's a part in Arkansas, boom, it's like right there. It's literally right there. Arkansas is literally just right there. You know, Utah's a little bit farther of a drive, or a plane ride or whatever, but for some odd reason, nobody seems to talk about Utah or Arkansas as far as abortion bills go. But there are some other heartbeat bans that have failed. Like I said, in our state, Texas, this was not going through. It didn't go through at all. Florida, South Carolina, Tennessee, West Virginia, also, they had their heartbeat bills, and these were all rejected at some point, whether it be in their House, whether it be in their Senate or whatever, in the states. And it's just, you know, it's a big win. It's a big win for those who are pro-choice. It's a big win for that. There was also a Reproductive Health Act, which in New York anyway, in the state of New York, that was passed in January, which basically just gives the woman the right to an abortion unless the baby is in danger, or the, you know, the mother's in danger, or the baby is like, boom, ready to go, ready to come on out. And yeah, so basically, you know, most of these states have covered that are here already have, you know, some sort of plan in place, but there's others as well that at least half of the states, you know, of the 50 states anyway, have some type of plan in place. Now, you know, just let's take a look at the types of bans real quick. Really, there's 4 of them that I've got listed here, which is a trigger ban. Now, don't get triggered, which basically automatically makes abortion illegal, just straight up off the bat, kind of like Alabama's. There's a method ban from a specific type of abortion, you know, like dilation and evacuation, you know. There's reason bans, which is ones that are basically, you know, from like Missouri, you know, like could be based on race or sex or some type of fetal characteristics that make up a disorder or something like that. You know, some sort of cells, some sort of chromosomes that are made like a Down syndrome or an autism or something like that. And then, you know, gestational bans, which are just basically at a certain point, you know, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 20 weeks, you know, whatever the case may be. And those are basically the 4 that I've got. I'm pretty sure there isn't any others as far as that goes. And again, none of these laws have taken into full effect. This is really, once again, just an attempt to get Roe versus Wade overturned. A long law that I won't really cover here. You know, if you have the internet, please go look up some of these laws. You know, please go look up Roe versus Wade. I don't have everything with me here. Got my notes here, and that's just about it. Don't have a whole thing on Roe versus Wade, so, you know, as far as that goes. But yeah, abortion. It's a hard topic to talk about, and just getting these laws down was very extreme. Extreme in the sense of this is very hard to write. You know, like you have to really think about, you know, what these sort of laws could mean. And there's basically three types of arguments for abortion. Let's just say that there's the first one, which is, you know, they don't want an abortion. They don't want other women to get abortions. That's basically what men and women believe. You know, I'm not for that first one. There's, you know, it's people who are pro-abortion. They're pro-choice. They want women to get abortions. There's people that are, you know, that are maybe, you know, oh God, that are not for abortion, but yet they can respect other women's rights. And really, it's just a hard one, you know. The second one that I talked about, you know, women that are not for abortions, but they don't care, or if a woman gets an abortion or not, or the other one, which I also spoke of, which is women who are pro-choice. They're pro-abortion, and they just want women to get an abortion. Now, really, it's these latter two that are really, you know, they're more feasible to me. They're more feasible for me to think about in a good and ethically moral manner. You know, that first one just doesn't really align at all with my values. You know, just being totally against abortion. I'm not totally against it. You know, you do. There needs to be exceptions in place. You know, the mother could be in danger. It could be a rape baby. You know, you really, as far as rape victims go, you know, you really don't want that there to, you know, damage those victims even further. And as far as incest goes, that's disgusting. So that should be. And if, you know, mother's in danger, baby's in danger, rape, incest, those things need to be addressed. Those things need to be accepted. There need to be exceptions for those. And, you know, it's really a woman's choice at the end of the day. As far as that goes, you know, they can have an abortion if they want to. They could, if they don't want to. And just a little quick reminder, please, for the love of God, people, wrap it up, please. Wrap it up. Get some protection. Do something. You know, if you don't want a kid, you don't want to have to spend money on an abortion, please wrap it up, for the love of God. Just wrap it up. Get some condoms, get some IUDs, get some Femidoms, you know, just get whatever you need to get to ensure that you're both safe, you know, consensually, of course. You know, we don't encourage rape on here at all. That's disgusting. And we certainly don't encourage incest, which is also not ideal. But for those people that are in healthy, loving relationships, you know, you need protections in place. You know, you really need to just talk it out and everything like that. And yeah, you just need to, you know, set some guidelines in place so you don't have to spend money on, you know, this and that and all these sorts of, you know, doctors' notes and whatnot. And here's another thing too, like as far as abortions go, and I know we got plenty of time, so, you know, the whole thing with, adopting children, some kids just, some kids do need adopting. Some, honestly, to be completely honest, they may or may not need adoption. They may or may not. And the reason why I say that is because, some kids are just, they're just accustomed to being, in the foster care system, and they're just, or they could be like, they could be like on their own basically, and they just want to make their own path, with no adopted parents involved or whatever. That certainly is true sometimes. It really is. Yeah. Adoption's really not the thing for me either. I don't want any children, so I'm just gonna say that right now. So go, if you have a happy, healthy, loving relationship, and you want some kids, and you're just like, no, let's not take the risk of pregnancy, because sometimes it really can damage a woman. It really can damage the baby, and it can damage the woman. It's two people living in one body, for 9 months, and I mean, it's just that, sometimes you just got to adopt, and go on ahead, adopt some kids. If you don't want any children, don't have children, obviously. But most importantly, what I'm trying to say here is just to wrap it up. Please, men, please, just don't be that guy. Don't be that guy at all. Don't leave a woman hanging. Don't leave, maybe a male partner hanging, if you wanted to adopt a kid or something like that. Just don't do that. Just, be honest, be the best person you can be. Be morally right about your intentions. And that's really what this whole argument about abortion is. Just be morally right, be the best that you could be in regards to, children. It's for the best interest of the kids. It's in the best interest of the kids. It's not the best interest for you, and women too, gotta say, some women just don't need children. I'm just gonna be completely honest. Some women do not need to be around children. There's a whole variety of factors for that, and I won't go into detail about those, because you can obviously look the stuff up on your own, your own time. But yeah, some women just don't need to be even having children. They need to be working on themselves, because they're not gonna, they can't sacrifice themselves for the kids. They need to sacrifice themselves for themselves, and that's really the whole bottom line on this whole thing. There were some other things really quick, but I won't go into detail about them, because other outlets, the whole thing with the psych class that was here at UNT, with the whole article with Breitbart, just it was just totally out of proportion. It was just a slide of a PowerPoint for that psychology class on sex. It was just one slide of a PowerPoint some guy or some gal took, and it just blew up totally out of proportion. There was this other thing with Bortman's, and basically just how, that there's like a little access day one thing on Canvas. If you're a UNT student like I am, and you take a lot of online classes and stuff like that, just know that you can, just not select that option for, like having your books be available, your ebooks be online. You can just buy your books for cheaper on Amazon or something like that. So yeah, there's that. And thankfully I've addressed those two issues out of the way. But as far as my final thoughts goes, just be right in your intentions. That's really what I've got to say. And so with that being said, my name is Michael Lloyd, signing off. I'll see you guys next month with potentially a guest, who knows. you know. And all that being said, thank you for watching. Signing off. Peace.